Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the day in the life of a radio director. My name is Cody Talbott, and I am the current news director for 91.9 The Cat, student radio station of Wayne State College. And on air, I'm also known as Bolt, and I run currently 2 specialty shows. I have an interview show on Fridays called The Wayne Word. It's something of a spirit successor of a show by the same name run by a few students in the last few semesters. We basically interview people from around town. For example, last week I interviewed Chad Welchert from Odd Man Out. They're a local pop punk band, which is funny because this is Wayne, America, and you'd assume a lot of local bands would be country bands. I found this is surprisingly not the case, but that's really off topic. Probably going to cut that out. The other show is Heavy Hitters, which is a metal show. I don't want to say I'm the resident metalhead because I have kind of peculiar tastes. I like a lot of European metal, which is very, very different. Not quite as heavy as a lot of metal, and I'm also a really big fan of symphonic metal, which sounds like an oxymoron, but is totally awesome. This is Production Room 2, where the large majority of the staff gets their production work done. We're not a commercial station, so we can't produce commercials. What we do instead is PSAs, public service announcements. If it's a student organization or a nonprofit, we can probably do something for it. For example, we're doing a lot of production right now for Haven House, and we actually do a big fundraiser for Haven House every year, our 24-hour remote, which is coming up soon. So the duties of a director, it really depends on your directorship as to what you do for the station. As current news director, I'm in charge of, like I said, the Wayne Word from earlier, so I have to set up interviews every week, or most every week. And actually, I'm trying to get a contact from Haven House for this week, and I think it'd be really cool to talk to one of the guests of honor for WillyCon, which is our sci-fi club puts on a convention every year, and I want to get one of the guests of honor because I think that would be a really cool interview. As news director, I also am in charge of teaching staff how to do newscasts, / what is appropriate during newscasts, and scheduling newscasts. It's surprising that the third of those things is actually the most difficult to do. Since we pay a fee to the Associated Press, that takes a lot of our work out of composing news, because when it comes to state and national news and national sports, we can just go to AP. And since we pay their fees, we don't have to attribute them, which makes that nice, so we can just take it off of their news desk program, read it on the air, and everybody's okay. Local news can be a little more difficult to work with. If it's a campus newsletter or press release, we can use that. Basically, as long as we say where it came from. Local sports, we typically turn to Wayne State College athletics, especially because we're not on the air during the summer, and during the fall and spring there's plenty going on, even in the dead of winter. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to 91.9 The Cat's control room. This is currently where we have our weather computer, our automation computer, and our soundboard, also microphones. There are 4 microphones in this room, which is twice as many as either production room, and where we like to do our live interviews. I prefer interviews live because they're a little more organic that way. And as I said earlier, I actually run the interview show on campus. So normally, if I were doing a live shift right now, I would have all 3 of these CD players on, and each one would be loaded with a different CD. We have our standard rotation, and we have 3 categories. We have power, medium, and heavy. We play 4 songs from the power section every hour, 3 from heavy and 2 from medium. So we have our rotation. The names power, heavy, and medium have been around longer than I have. I've been here for 3 years now, so I mean that's kind of saying something. It's a very, very well-established part of our station. Then we have 5. It's called recurrent and DJ pick. Honestly, though, they're kind of the same. Basically, we can pick anything to play as long as it's not from a band or album that has had a track played from it in the last 3 hours, and we can't pick anything from the current rotation. We also have to make sure whatever we want to play is cleared for air as well, which is another job of our music director. They have to make sure the music is stuff we can actually play. So I would normally be speaking into this microphone like so, Use the headphones when you're broadcasting so you can hear yourself. Actually, because I don't have a mic hooked up to the camera, these headphones are just feeding into the board. So I'm hearing what's going out over the air, but I'm not really hearing anything outside of that. So, which is kind of why I have one ear open so I can still hear myself saying stuff. So thank you all for watching my day in the life of a radio director. My name is Cody Talbott, known as Bolt On Air, current news director of 91.9 The Cat, your music authority.